Okay, here we go with myth 5. And this is the one, this is kind of my pet peeve here. This one just gets me the most. And it's I don't see all of my links showing up. Is Google really counting them? And when I'm doing commercial work, this is really an issue for me because if I'm telling a client, they're paying me so much a month to get them 200 incoming links or 500 incoming links or whatever, and imagine that, they're paying me every month for 500 new links and they only see 30 of them show up. I mean, imagine how that makes me look. And I have to explain that over and over and over. Your links, just because you're putting the links out there, doesn't mean that they're going to show up anywhere. And especially where you expect them to show up. Like you go to Google or you go to Yahoo and you run their link checkers and you put that URL in, the link colon, and then your site, and you expect to see all those links show up. Well, they don't, and there's a very good reason for that. If you could see every link as it was counted, that would be a huge exposure to their algorithm, and they really don't want to expose that. So they're giving you inaccurate data as far as incoming links because they know that's such an important procedure in their linking algorithm. They don't want it to be public. So they have to show something, but what they're showing is just a fraction of what's really out there. And just because those links don't show up and they're not showing them to you, it doesn't mean that they're not counting them. Believe me, I watch this and I rank this by results. And I can see when I put out a certain number of links, I see my results go up. Even though I don't see the links show up anywhere in any tracking, I know they're there because I put them there and I see the results because of them. So, this is an absolute huge myth here. So again, absolutely not true. Every link that's out there is definitely counted. And whether it shows up or not, they're seeing it. It's becoming part of their algorithm. Now, again, back to a couple steps previous, where we talked about sometimes links won't be counted as much or discounted or discarded even, but they do see them, and if you're doing everything right, they really should count toward your overall score. Which brings us to myth 6. And again, this isn't so much of a myth as it is a question, and it comes down to my competitor has more backlinks than I can possibly get. How could I compete? And this is pretty simple because, there are sites out there, like let's say you're looking at the backlinks for a YouTube video, and YouTube's got, literally millions and millions of site links. Now, the actual page might be on the top 10. It might even be the first place spot, but that is just a page on that domain. That page might not have any links at all going to it. So if you put up a similar YouTube video and you got just maybe a handful of links to your particular page, you could beat that YouTube video out with another one very, very easily. And this is one of the things that I teach to my students a lot, is how to go in and look at what's there and improve upon it and beat it out. Now, another thing too, when you see a competitor or even a Web 2.0 property that's in the top 10 and it's in your way, and it's got, thousands or hundreds of thousands or even millions of backlinks, don't assume that those are all quality links. Those could be, 99% pure garbage, and it's possible that, a lot of those are not being counted or being discarded or devalued. So I've seen in many, many cases, I've gone in and beaten sites that had 10, 20, 50, even 100 times more links than I did just by going in with a quality linking campaign. Not a huge amount, but a very good mixture of non-relevant links, low PR links, and some really good high PR links. Especially if you take out that secret weapon and you use some of those gov links and some of those edu links, you guys really should take note of how powerful those links really can be for you. So again, I would say if we're going to call this a myth, I would say this is a not true myth. So anyway, don't worry about how many links your competitor has. If it looks like a tremendous amount, you could still potentially beat them with a good quality linking strategy. Another thing to do is just reevaluate your keyword list. If you're going after keywords that are too generic, you might need to step back to the very beginning of this and go back and relearn how to select good keywords that you can really compete for and that you can rank, number one for, and gain all that high quality traffic. Because that's really the name of the game here. I mean, if you get really relevant keywords and you get those to the top, maybe you won't get a ton of traffic, so to speak. You won't get a ton of visitors, but every one of those visitors is going to be right on target, and it's going to be somebody that you can turn into a customer. So I say I would rather have a handful of customers than a shitload of traffic any day of the week. And that's what it was really hard for me to convince my clients that, but over the years I've really persuaded them to understand that, and it's really paid off for them. The ones that took my advice and followed that rule, they've made a lot of money on the internet. So anyway, that's another kind of little, trade secret of this whole game is, don't go after generic keywords that could potentially drive a tremendous amount of traffic. I know back in the beginning, 10, 15 years ago, that was kind of the name of the game. Everybody thought traffic equated to money, and it really couldn't be further from the truth. So, as you grow and evolve your knowledge, you'll see how true that really is. So anyway, let's move on to myth number 7. Now here's a term I don't know if we've really covered yet in this course, and it's naked links. And the myth here is I've heard a lot of Web 2.0 sites will only allow naked links, and will naked links really help? Now what a naked link is that's like just your website address and then linking to it. It's like in a lot of the video sites, and these are Web 2.0 sites, a lot of the video sites won't allow you to do anchor text links. Some of the article sites or the PR sites even won't let you do anchor text links. So in those cases, you just have to put your complete URL, and then it becomes hot. It becomes the link to your site, and that's what's considered a naked link. And even though there's not anchor text in it, it is definitely a link to your site. One thing where you can kind of cheat here is if you've got a domain that has your main keyword in it. Now your main keyword actually is part of the anchor text of the link. So in that case, you can kind of sly the system a little bit, because even though it is a naked link, it does have your anchor text in there that you wanted. So that's a really good way to to address the naked links thing, is even if you buy another domain that has that in it, you could link that through and then just link them through, or use that as a squeeze page, or a lot of different strategy you could use there. But let's say that wasn't the case, and your naked link doesn't have your keyword in it, but it's still linking back from these Web 2.0 properties. The question here is, or the myth is, that doesn't help. And the question is, will naked links really help? So the naysayers out there that say that this will not help, that's not true. Naked links actually do count. They are beneficial because they're on these high PR sites. Like YouTube is a very authoritative site. A lot of these video sites, a lot of the article sites, and the PR sites, these sites are authority sites, and links from those authority sites, even though they're naked links, those are going to count for you, and those are going to give you some good quality link juice. And the thing is, it actually helps build your site as far as your linking, and it's helping build it naturally. It's not natural that all of your incoming links would be perfect anchor text. So it is important if you're doing a huge link building campaign, you should plan on building in a certain portion of those to be either naked links or non-related links, just so it does look natural. So again, you don't want to do things that are looking unnatural and have the majority of your links discounted or disqualified. So that would not be cool at all. So take notice of this Myth 7 and go ahead and take advantage of those anchor text links that are considered naked links. They actually do help. Now on to Myth 8, which is going to seem a little bit contradictory here, but it almost has to be, because here's the myth is I heard that anchor text doesn't matter. And when you say anchor text doesn't matter, that is absolutely not true. Because in the major portion of the algorithm, what the search engine is looking for is it's looking for the anchor text of the link, and when it follows the link, if it finds content that's relevant to that anchor text, that's like the most points you can get. And this is kind of a scoring system based on points of who's going to win. It's like, how many links do you have? What is each link worth because of the site value? Is the anchor text relevant? It's a bunch of different criteria. It's not just that you got a link. Not all links are created equal. And in that case, not all links matter equally. So if you have a vast majority of your links that do have good high quality anchor text, that's your only way really of telling the search engine out there how well your site should rank for a particular keyword. So the more of those keywords that are linking into your site, the more chance you have to tell the search engine what your site is about, and to allow them to rank it accordingly and bring you to the top for that particular subject matter. It's almost like, back to the whole popularity contest. All those links coming in, they're casting votes as to how well your site should rank for a particular topic. And that particular topic is that anchor text. So again, in the last one, Myth 7, we said where the naked links were okay and they do help, but that's not discounting number 8, that anchor text really does matter, because it absolutely does. So again, it seems a little contradictory, but yet not really. So keep that in mind and just know that you do need those naked links to kind of make everything look natural. But on the other end, the anchor text, that's the stuff that's really, counting in your favor. So take advantage of that and definitely use proper anchor text whenever possible. Just don't overdo it. Keep in mind, again, it's not natural if it's 100%, right on the money or accurate, because not everyone would do that. So don't do it yourself. And Myth 9, and this is an interesting one. This one is very, very controversial. And the whole thing of, do links from no follow sites really help me? And I've seen this just argued about over and over and over. And people out there, you can argue all you want, but what I look at is results. And I see that links from no follow sites actually do matter. So to me, this is another one of those that's absolutely not true. Now, if you look at it, the whole no follow thing, the no follow tag basically is your site is telling the search engine that they don't want the pages followed to be indexed. And that's one thing. If you don't want them to index, that's fine. But that does not mean whatsoever that they don't see the link. Just by putting that little thing of code up there doesn't mean they don't see the links and that they don't follow the links, because they do. They'll follow every link they find on your site. The no follow tag just tells them that you don't want that information published. So in the link building strategy, those links do count. They do see those links. Now, I can't tell you if they're discounted at all, because I really don't know their exact algorithm. Nobody does. But I can tell you from testing that we've sent links to no follow sites exclusively, and they did get counted. and they did matter. So don't let anybody tell you that, you shouldn't link to no follow sites or sites that have no follow tags in them. That's some place where, 90% of the people out there, they're following that rule and they're not using those sites. So that kind of, to me, seems like a little bit of a gold mine for you. You can go out there and use those sites and take advantage of them. And here we are at myth number 10. We're going to wrap it up with the top 10 here. And this is the one that I would say is probably the furthest of all from the truth. And this is the myth of Google Webmaster Tools said that reciprocal linking would help me. And I believe this has been removed, but this information actually was leaked directly from Google at some point. And we're going back here some years. But if you trace back to the beginning of where the whole myth about reciprocal linking came from, I believe it either came out of the Google Webmaster Tools or it somehow got leaked into the media by Google. But it was an absolute trap. I would say, if anything, you want to stay the hell out of the Google Webmaster Tools. This is an absolute and not true lie. And what happened here, I don't know if you guys remember or not, but when this got leaked out, everybody said, oh, reciprocal linking is the way to go. That's how they're going to, score our sites in the future. And everybody jumped on the bandwagon. It spawned link farms. And I had a lot of calls. A lot of my clients had called me. They saw this in the news. They actually saw it on the late night news and things of that nature. They read it in the newspapers, and they called me to find out if we were going to do that. If I was going to implement that strategy into their program. And I said, absolutely not. I said, we want to stay as far away from that as possible. That is a trap. And sure enough, I was right on the money. I couldn't have been more accurate with that assumption. And that went on for quite a while. And, a lot of people were rewarded for playing that game by the search engines. Then all of a sudden, one day, Google put the screws down. And basically what they were doing, they kind of put that out as a poison apple to see who would bite on it. And anything that you find in the Google Webmaster Tools that's telling you how to manipulate your site or how to SEO your site, I challenge you to go right next door in their library and go to their terms of service where they clearly state anything at all that you do to manipulate their results. If they find out about it, you will be banned from their search engine entirely, completely, for good. So keep that in mind. I mean, you want to put that in your pipe and smoke it when you go in there and you follow their instructions on how to do something that they clearly tell you can be banned for. Be very, very cautious of what you hear that comes out of Google, and especially when it comes to manipulating their search results. And for that matter, any other search engine as well, because their whole purpose in life is to have their results be natural and not be manipulated. So think about it. If they could put out a simple rumor to find out who's doing it and then all of a sudden adjust their algorithm to get rid of those people, don't put that past them. I've seen it many times in the past. So be very, very cautious and careful about who you listen to. And whenever you hear something, I mean, first thing you do is think about it logically. Does it make sense? Don't just follow it just because somebody said it. Think about why. And then if it makes sense, proceed with caution. So that's it for our myths. I want to really congratulate you guys again on going through this information and getting this base knowledge. Whether you know it or not, you are so far ahead of most people out there that call themselves gurus in this information, you wouldn't believe it. Most of the people that are in the SEO business itself are strictly just following each other. They're just saying, "Oh, what did you do? What did you do?" They're following each other. They're not really basing anything on fact. They're just going on strictly hearsay. And that's a very dangerous game, especially, if you're going to call yourself a guru or a professional, you better be basing your knowledge on true fact and things that work. So go out there, use the stuff, see the results, then you're going to know, and base your theories on truth, not on myths. So again, congratulations. If anybody wants to follow me, you can look me up on Facebook. I go by facebook.com/John Limbacher, and I'd love to have you guys as friends on there. So that's it. We're going to wrap up the whole 30-minute SEO. Go ahead and also watch the follow-up video where we're going to continue this conversation and what you should be doing next. And, we'll continue that conversation about automating some of these processes, outsourcing, and possibly for those of you that want to take this knowledge and turn it into an actual business and do it for clients like I've done in the past. That's done me very, very well, and I don't mind sharing the information for that because it's such a huge industry, and companies out there, they really need it badly. And there's so few quality people in the industry that are doing it right. I would applaud you for joining the industry and really helping those companies. So congratulations one more time, and thank you for partaking in 30-minute SEO.